Hello everyone, the IPL playoffs are here, or almost they are. We are in the final stages of seeing which teams makes it and in what position. What I'm going to share with you will be very interesting because as cricket enthusiasts, you already know which teams are likely to be the four teams which will make it to playoffs. But here is the complication. IPL is so amazing. Surprise us at the last minute. Look at Punjab. They made it to playoffs in all our eyes at the end of week 7 when they had 13 points. And KKR had 3 points at that time. Now we are here, almost at the end of the IPL regular season. And KKR, which had 3 points, is already knocking on the doors. And Punjab, which almost was a surety to go into playoffs, are struggling to get in there. So let's look at each team, how they can make it to playoffs and what is their position. And I'll explain to you each team's possibility of making the playoffs. It's very clear for you. As you can see on the screen, RCB has 18 points from 13 matches with a net run rate of 1.06, which is the best in the IPL. Following them is Gujarat Titans with 16 points and a net run rate of 0.40, and Hyderabad are very close behind them with a net run rate of 0.35, and they too have 16 points. Literally, these three teams have made it to the playoff. Now let's look at the points table of the top three teams, RCB, GT and SRH. RCB has 18 points, GT has 16 and SRH has 16. Now the two teams, GT and SRH, can only match RCB in the points with a victory in their final game. Now RCB with a victory can easily seal first position with 20 points. Whereas if they lose, they end up at 18 points, which means SRH, which play them in the final game, can end up with 18 points also. Here comes Gujarat. They have a game with CSK, and if they win that, they end up with 18 points too. Now, these three teams, which can end up in 18 points, will take the first three places in the IPL playoffs. If Hyderabad and Gujarat in their final matches can win by a margin of 70 odd runs, or if they are chasing, if they can win with 5 to 6 overs to spare, both teams have a possibility to just marginally edge RCB in the net run rate, which means that RCB can either be pushed to second position or third position, depending on how those two teams fare in their victories, which would bring them to 18 points in the first place and be able to overtake RCB in the net run rate. So it can happen. Would RCB want to be in that position? Definitely not. Can it happen? The chances are very slim. All these three teams have extraordinarily good bowlers, and Bowie and Hazelwood have been bowling so good for RCB. I don't think this can happen. But this is IPL. There is possibility it can. So now we know RCB, even with a loss, can end up in first position. However, mathematically, they could end up in second or third, which they don't want, and let's see what happens. Now, let's analyze Hyderabad and Gujarat together only because their net run rate is very close, 0.4 and 0.35. So we know that Hyderabad and Gujarat have a very outside chance of making it to first place, and it's very remote. So they're really fighting for second and third place. And this is very crucial because the team that ends up in second place has an advantage that even if they lose, they have one more chance to stay in the playoffs and fight back. So between Hyderabad and Gujarat, if one team loses, the second and third places are pretty much set. Or is it? Because the team that ends up with 16 points can be matched by another team, Rajasthan. If they win their final two games, they end up with 16 points also. Now here's an interesting situation. If Hyderabad lose, Gujarat lose, and Rajasthan win both their games, they all end up with 16 points. Now the net run rate plays. So really, if you leave Bangalore apart, these three teams could arguably be fighting for the second, third, and fourth positions if Rajasthan win both games and Hyderabad and Gujarat loses. So IPL, welcome to IPL. So these are the scenarios for these teams, 1, 2, 3, and 4 place. Now, is Rajasthan place in playoffs final? No. Let's now talk about the fourth spot where Rajasthan will definitely enter with 2 victories. But what happens if they lose one of the 2 games? We'll talk about that. Now let's look at the points table and we'll discuss teams from Punjab down. Punjab has a chance to make the playoffs with 13 points. They have to win their final encounter and hope Rajasthan loses one of the 2. And Punjab also has to make sure that KKR, which is also contending and can reach 15 points with 2 victories, have a lower run rate. So the Punjab chances are very high to make the playoffs if they win the final game and Rajasthan loses one of the 2. KKR has a similar situation. They are at 11 points. However, they can reach 15 points if they win their final 2 games. So with either a Punjab loss or a lower net run rate, KKR has a very outside small chance of making it if Rajasthan loses one of the games and Punjab has a lower run rate or lose their game. KKR has a very small outside chance of making it to the playoffs. Now there is a scenario Chennai and DC can make it. If KKR loses one of the 2 games, Punjab loses their game and Rajasthan lose one of the 2 games and has a lower run rate. So these 3 teams will be contesting. Rajasthan, CSK and DC will be contesting for the final spot on run rate if they win their final encounter, and at the same time Punjab loses their final match and KKR loses one of the 2 games. There you go, folks. That's the analysis for the IPL playoffs. We certainly know Bangalore, Hyderabad and Gujarat will be there. The 4th team, we don't know. It could be Punjab or Rajasthan or any other team from bottom up have a small chance. They'll be fighting for it. IPL, you never know. Please subscribe to our channel and watch out for more analysis and also predictions on the IPL playoffs and other things, interesting things. Subscribe to our channel, make a comment there, and we'll be happy to answer you. Thanks for joining us.